Hi, I'm Alexandra Georgas, and I'd like to tell you another story about my life. I lived next door to my Greek grandmother, and I used to visit her quite a bit just because I loved her so much. But no matter how often I visited her, it was never enough. And this is what she would say to me. "Oh, you don't come to see me in so long. Nobody come to see me. I'm going to die and stink up the whole house because no one come to see me." Right. Yeah, she gave me like grandma rigor mortis threats. So after a while, I finally figured out a comeback. I said, "Grandma, we live next door. We'll smell you." And then she'd go, "Oh." So fortunately, although she laid a guilt trip, she really wasn't that bad. She really showed me that she really enjoyed seeing me. My mother was the same way. Whenever I visited my mother, she didn't lay that guilt trip on me like that. But her face would light up. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool to walk in a room and you made someone's day because you just were there, you were present. Nothing like my mother and my grandmother. That's how they felt when I just walked in the room. It's pretty cool to make someone's day just by being there. And I got to do that. For my mom, it was especially true because she suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. And she lived very well in a nursing home where she was cared for and had people around her, but nobody made her day like family and her daughter. And for many years, I wondered, of course, why her? Why did this happen to her? What is this? And struggled a lot with that question. Still don't really know the answer, because we really don't know exactly why people get schizophrenia. But in her situation, a factor seems to be when she had her hysterectomy. She changed quite a bit after that. My aunts and cousins said that she was never the same after a hysterectomy. How could a hysterectomy have anything to do with schizophrenia? For years, I discounted that. Matter of fact, in my book, I didn't even write about it because at that time I didn't think it had anything to do with it. Well, I keep growing and learning more about my mom's illness, and I have learned, and I have a little research here, that actually estrogen does have effect on the two chemicals involved in schizophrenia, dopamine and serotonin. Estrogen buffers the illness for some. Reduction of estrogen can cause schizophrenia to show up. It seems that it plays a significant effect on the modulation of dopamine and serotonin receptors. So for my mother, when she had her hysterectomy, her estrogen level dropped, which had been a buffer helping to manage those two chemicals. That was gone, and they became overly transmitted, causing the illness to show up. So actually there was a link. And it also explains why women between the ages of 40 and 45 sometimes develop schizophrenia as they're going through menopause. Estrogen is dropping, because that had been playing a role. Now there's lots and lots of women that go through menopause that don't have schizophrenia, so there's more involved than the estrogen. But there's part of that involved, which also shows how it is chemical. It is not a choice. It isn't just one day my mom decided to think differently. Her body really did change on her, and it wasn't her decision, or it wasn't voluntary. There have been a lot of research on if giving estrogen would therefore reduce it. Temporarily it does, but long term it actually makes a woman worse. The psychotic meds become less effective, so it isn't one of the treatments that women go through typically to treat schizophrenia. So, but there is antipsychotic medication, which is very, very effective, and allowed my mom to have those symptoms be relieved and helped her to live a life not full of anxiety and delusions and fear, but a life of love and meaning and connection, that when I walked through the door, she'd just be happy. So there is treatment for this illness, but it is an illness. And it is something that does need care and medication, and not shame and blame. So that's my message for today. I hope it helps you. God bless.